I'm going to be getting vulnerable. I may or may not cry. I just got my moon. And give me a one in the comments if you understand. The rhythm and the nature of being a multi passionate, multi dimensional creative on this planet, let alone also running a successful company and positioning yourself to be a leader in your area of wisdom, all while bleeding every month, all while the cat's got fleas, all while there's pee everywhere from another random cat. Being a multidimensional human is our nature. All of us, every single person, even if they have never heard the phrase multidimensional human or multi passionate creator, has more than one dimension to them. And so I've been getting a lot of people coming to me talking about niche and how they don't want to be tied down. I've been having conversations behind the scenes with my clients on not wanting to be boxed in by one message or one offer. And this message today is for you. So, if you're new to my world, hi, I'm Christina Gomes, and I help multi passionate creatives like you, mentors, coaches, healers, guides, facilitators of transformation. I help you to put yourself out there in a way that feels aligned and unique to you, express yourself in a way that gets you highly valued for your creations. So, your offerings are like works of art in my world, and they become works of art in my world, and your clients become like soul fam in my world. So I just had a particularly deep conversation with my clients yesterday. I am in the last week of a beautiful offering that I proposed to my folks in the Conscious Creative Business School. We were supposed to be on a break as I launched the next live experience of my school. And I just do not like taking breaks because this these containers to me light me up as well. I feel on purpose. I feel on mission. I know that my containers are moving energy, helping people to create, helping people to discover themselves, release things that have been holding them back for years in one call. And then they move on to make wild moves in their business, write deeper posts that get them going viral. Like, hey, I don't go viral, but, and that's not my goal, but some of my clients have, from what they've moved through in one session. So I delivered a short form mastermind for only the folks that were that are in my school. And in each call, every single human is getting the opportunity to share their voice, no matter who's there. And I'm willing to stay on, and I'm willing to coach them through some of their challenges. But oftentimes, the things that my clients are bringing to the space or bringing as challenges, it's not anything to like get over. It's not that the coaching is, hey, this is an excuse, get over it and put out your freebie already. My clients are deep humans with whole lives, with families, with deaths in the family, with big transitions that they're making, divorces, separations, heartbreak, all the things that make up a multi-dimensional human, right? We're not just like robots, like marketing all the time. And so a lot of times what my clients need, and maybe what you need, is to be witnessed in your challenge, to not be told to fix something, to not be a project that needs to be fixed, which is oftentimes what we're doing to ourselves when we're alone in this, trying to fix what's wrong, trying to fix what's in our business, trying to tweak this, trying to fix that and solve that problem, which, I mean, all successful people are solution focused and problem solvers. And folks like you and I, the deep, poetic, mystical, uh, mentors, healers, guides, we just are going to have to do it a bit differently than the multimillionaire marketers who maybe had some kind of inheritance or um, business loans, and they're really good at that side of life and that dimension of life, which is a dimension that we get to activate in our lives and become really amazing business women and business humans, even though we may be deep and emotional and feelers and processors and channels for the collective pain, and all of these things get to come with you in your business, in your services, in your offerings. And so yesterday's call was so beautiful because as I'm experiencing things like 10 minutes before this call, I'm, already in this week, I found out the cat has fleas. I'm getting bit by fleas. I just moved into a new home, a little cottage. I'm like cottage core. I'm downsizing so that I can begin to travel the world again. And so I'm downsizing, getting maybe a sublet for my cat. And this all proves to be challenging when there is a random cat coming into my house peeing, there are fleas biting me. And as an energy healer, as somebody tapped in to the deeper meanings of life, it's not that I make everything a sign that it's not going to work out. This is not how I manifest anything ever. Like our creative aims are hard for a reason. And I actually have this, the Enneagram, maybe you know this, maybe some of you have used this as a personality test, and that's quite fun. But the Enneagram in its original form is a step-by-step um, focus that you can, it's a roadmap. It really is. Like, look at this symbol, and high level teachers will just show you a symbol at times. Like, if you've ever sat at the foot of a Zen monk, my monk wasn't a Zen monk, he was a Vedantic monk, but so his teachings were verbal, but one type of teaching is just like, hey, figure it out. But the lesson is in the symbol, and everything is patterns in this world. And this is a roadmap to any creative aim that you want to accomplish. And in 3 places, it gets hard. And this is what every single one of my programs is based on. It is backed by. So I take you through each of the steps, and I know when it's going to be hard for you and when most people quit. And this is why I have like labeled my school at times helping folks to exit the cult of average, because you need an above average teaching and an above average teacher and a living teacher to guide you through some of the things that have been blocking you in the past. And only because you didn't know that it's supposed to be hard at these moments. And that's when you allow yourself to feel what you're supposed to feel, and slowly, with support, go on to the next step to take action anyway, even though there's a big obstacle and a big limit, because whatever is limiting you creates your style. Limits create style in my world. Limits are not a sign from the universe that God doesn't love you or that you're not ready for this or designed for this. It simply means if it's been harder for you, that the assignment is bigger. And so right now, I may be going through a 0.3 moment, as we call it in my school. And this is the time to dig in and create a ritual. So I didn't know that my ritual would have to be waking up and cleaning pee from a random ass cat who is marking his territory here. And now, if I close all the windows, then I close my cat in. I'm trying to air this ish out. But on a deeper level, fleas represent and are a symbol for parasitic energy. And I got bit on my solar plexus. So I'm teaching my clients in Edge and Embers and in my school the chakra system, in the chakra system as it relates to astrology. Like, hello, multi-passionate, multi-dimensional people. Like, we got the chakra system, we got astrology, we got human design, we got symbols, because all of it, all of life is multi-dimensional. And when you can connect the symbols, and each chakra is related to a planet, and each planet has a morphic field, a resonant energy that can help you to expand in a energy that you might need for the moment. So as I'm cleaning the pee, I could have easily canceled this live and just been covered in pee and like crying on the bathroom floor. Like, and I've done that before. And that's a dimension of us. We need to be feeling our feelings. And this is my mission. It is much more than a way to make money. It is an avenue and a channel for my creativity, for my expression, for my channel to open and flow freely, for my words to be moving through me and to be able to land into the hearts of anybody out there that's listening, that's resonating, that understands. And I don't mind if this isn't a viral moment. I don't mind if every single person on the planet isn't here watching this video, because I'm speaking to you, the one who's also had a rough day. And instead of quitting or slowing down or letting that slow your momentum, you allow that to fuel your channel so that you can speak to those who also get it, who also want to work with a real human who is covered in cat pee, has a flea bite on her solar plexus, and still wants to show up for her business, because this is more than a business. It's deeper than a business. This is where my artistry is met with a witnesser, with a witness. And true artists do not only need the art, but they need the witness of the art to make the whole thing expressed. And you may have heard of the observer effect in quantum language, in quantum physics, and in science. There's something called the observer effect, where atoms behave differently when they are being watched. And I have practiced this because I also live in Central America. So there's a give and take. Okay. So I live an expat life. I've taken my work, my teachings, my offerings around the world. I've led offerings in Peru, in Bali, in Guatemala, where I currently reside. Like, I've lived here for 8 years and then traveled from here. I've delivered my offerings from Mexico, from the beaches of Mexico. And this is really why I teach people how to create on social media, because I'm not like a viral social media coach, but I do want you to not have to be tied down by one thing. If you're multi-passionate and multi-creative, some of my clients get tied down by one location, and they feel like this isn't the environment for them, this isn't the location for them, and they want to spread the good word and spread their message far and wide. And yes, you can certainly walk the earth. And I traveled for 5 years, kind of more, because yeah, I settled in Guatemala, and then I traveled from here and delivered workshops and retreats and taught at festivals. Um, and my mentorships are completely international. Okay. So part of being multidimensional is being international for me. It doesn't have to be that way for you. And if you are, I have clients who live in LA, they have offerings in LA, and we get to do it a little bit differently. They go to networking events, but your message is at the heart. Your message and your confidence and your ability to express the value of what it is that you do, and having an online presence, because say you meet someone in person, they are going to check you out online. It doesn't have to be a viral account on Instagram, but there are ways to put yourself forward online. We can create your sales page, create your enrollment page, so that your multidimensionality, your multi-passions are expressed. And this does not mean that you have to show up perfectly, okay? You can be pea-soaked too. I mean, I washed my hands, but I didn't have time to shower. Like, my hair, it looks wild and unbrushed, but hey, I mean, who are we kidding? You've been here for a while and you know that my hair is, nobody brushes. We don't brush this hair. We brush it when it's wet, full of conditioner. And cheers to that. Let me take a sip of this gorgeous coffee. and come back to the topic. So you have things going on other than running a business. Even if you are child free like me, this is a personal choice, and I've grieved the little children that I've seen in my visions, but I'm 41 years old and I've also decided to not have children and to focus my life force energy in other places. And I have clients who have children. I think that's quite beautiful. I'm a lover of children, like was a nanny for a long time, like really have all, studied child development as a clinical psychologist. And so it's not about loving children or not. I feel like I can be a fully expressed creature without needing to, a fully expressed woman without needing to go down a traditional path of marriage, children, and the like. And my clients still love to work with me, even though I don't have children. And my clients with children really do get great results because there's no coaching needed about time management. They're just like, oh, yeah, I only have an hour. So what do I get to do in that hour that's going to deliver the most impact to my audience, attract clients, make that moolah? Because you also are thinking more about generational wealth than those of us without children. But there is no, kids or no kids, better or worse. There's just, you have other things going on, whether you have children or not. And you are a multidimensional human. You may have friendships and partnerships and relationships that you want to focus on. You may have animals. You may have an entire farm and half your day is spent with the cows. I don't know. I mean, if you want to work with me, I would love to have a visionary leadership call with you so you can tell me. I have a client who has an entire homestead, grows her own food, has a lovely relationship, and you get to express the fullness of who you are, your range, and let that be felt online and have that work to attract you better clients. You may already be attracting clients, but if you're getting on the phone with people and you're like, okay, sure, they have a problem that I can solve, I can help them, but you're not like giggling on your calls. I mean, we went yesterday in Edge and Embers, which is an offering on, it's my mastermind on expanding in your voice. And so everybody had the opportunity to share their voice. And we went from laughing about ridiculousness to crying about a death in the family to figuring out how to lead and how to hire and possibly fire, and figuring out why this person is not this person, like my client, my lovely client, has not handed in the copy to her sales page guy to just get the sales page out there already. And we dug and we dug and we dug, and I coached and I coached and I coached until we figured out, like, there is a small fear of what I am going to grow, and what will that mean for my freedom, and what will that mean for my time, because I am a multidimensional person. And I don't, and this is my client, she doesn't want to just be in business mode and get burnt out. And what I find is oftentimes what burns us out more than growing and expanding is the fear of what that will mean. But if we face that fear, meaning if we let it come up, if we speak about it, if we have a space where that fear can be witnessed without it being fixed, I'm not trying to say get over it, that's an excuse. I'm not going to say the platitude of you're playing small, because small could be, I'll talk about that in just a moment, but I'm not going to tell my client, just like a meme on the internet, oh, quit playing small. Because there is a real legitimate fear of freedom and freedom being taken away and burnout possibly. So what I found, so I coached her on burnout. What I find is that burnout is not created by how much we do or how big we are or how many eyes are on us. Burnout comes from our thoughts around what that means for our life. And we can sometimes burn ourselves out before we've even gone bigger or before we've even grown our business or scaled, thinking about who's going to leave us when we're making more money, who's going to be asking to borrow money when we're making more money, how, if we have to hire somebody. So, okay, there is a solution if you have more inquiries to work with you, or a bigger business, then there's this fear of like, where I already don't have time. I'm already have this and this and this, and here's my schedule, Christina, and I really don't have more time. Yes, the solution could be to clear something. Okay, great. If you're making more money, then you can leave your 9 to 5, you can lower your hours, and there's where your time is found. Amazing. But we can actually do a lot more. Like, time flies by in these live videos, in these sessions that I give for free, because I am enjoying myself. It is what I came here to do, to have the power of my voice be felt. And so it like feeds me with beautiful energy. I leave these sessions not going like, my time, going like, wow, like, yes, I'm making an impact for free to people, whether they buy from me or not. I feel fulfilled. I feel of service. I feel of value, and I feel valued because I don't take your attention for granted. And that's something that you're trading. You are trading your time and attention to hear me, and it is going to affect your life. You're going to, if you apply what it is that I'm saying, and most people don't apply it until they're in the container and getting personally coached by me. And even at the school level, you get personal coaching. You have my eyes on your business at the school level, which is the group level, very, very accessible at $250 a month. And you get personal guidance and coaching throughout the year, or however long you're in the school. Yeah, so back, reeling it back. Yes, so burnout, okay, it doesn't come from how much you do, it comes from the energy from which you do it. And there are solutions, and we want to be solution focused. And on this call, we just sat with what is, and we gave moment to those parts of my client that were actually in fear about having a bigger business, because this was what it was for her. And maybe you resonate as well. Hiring someone means that she's responsible for their livelihood. And I caught this in her language, because she was expressing what it was that could possibly be stopping her. I was coaching her, asking questions, and it came through in hiding. And if I wasn't a great coach, I might have missed this. If I was just a millionaire marketer and not a multidimensional woman who sees what my clients aren't able to see, and that's what I'm here to do. That's my mission, to help you to clear the subconscious program or what's living underneath. And I'm able to hear that through your language. And so in every call and in every week of the school, you're able to put your challenges, you're able to share your homework, and I'm able to see what's stopping you and help you to close that gap. For her, which if I didn't ask these questions, we would have just assumed, oh, you're playing small, you're making excuses, just get over it. But for her, it was, if I get a bigger business and I have to hire someone, I'm responsible for that livelihood. What happens if my business isn't making the amount of money to sustain that? What happens if they're not doing a great job and I would rather hire someone else? All of these things that are living beneath the surface of our conscious mind, we got to unearth, and then she got to face it. And there was no like fixing in the moment, but there are solutions now going forward. But really, we just have to start at the root of, we sometimes, as deep feelers and big caring people, are taking on more responsibility than is ours to take. And I just want to give you that. I just want to coach you around that right now. You may be taking on more responsibility than is yours to take on. You are not responsible for someone's livelihood. And you can have this reframe, and I'll tell you my story with hiring. But you can have this reframe that you are contributing to somebody's livelihood in this moment. So I had an assistant. She is no longer with me, but I had an assistant for 5 whole years. And I heard that that is unheard of in business. And so, in a few programs down the line, not this next 8 week live experience, which, if you want to get in for free, my first class is free of ritual, rhythm, and resonance. And that class is on the Sagittarius full moon. It's going to be a free class on doubling your revenue at freeyourcreativity.org/ritual. And the first class is free. And even if you're watching this in the future, that class is going to be up in your very own online learning portal, and there's going to be bonuses there. So you're getting like a free mini course, joining the first module of rhythm, ritual, and resonance, the 3 R's to a highly successful business as a multi-passionate creator, helping you to attract clients and to grow your business without the time that it usually takes for people when they have all of these things swirling around in their subconscious. When they're trying to do it alone, there are things you're going to miss, and there are things that are going to slow you down and have you stop. And you just don't need to be doing that. It's hard for a reason. I know it's hard to think that you are responsible for somebody's livelihood. But I had this assistant, lovely assistant from the Philippines for 5 whole years. And when it was time for us to transition, I just was downsizing my business. So growth isn't the only thing to do in your business. You don't have to scale, 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 scale. I was starting to downsize. I was starting to transition from high-end mastermind and mentorships only to more accessible, affordable offers. And in that transition, I took a conscious pay cut, knowing that this school will grow and it's just more aligned for me. I like the group experience really a lot, and I love my mentorship clients. And now I get to be more exclusive with my mentorship clients and just take a few on, and then that gives me more time freedom. But for the time being, my school is so affordable that there was an intentional pay cut made. And in that, I had to let my assistant go. I have a new assistant now, but because I'm scaling back up, but I had to let my assistant go. And it was tough. All the thoughts came up that you are going to have when you make it there. So a certain amount of money doesn't eliminate your problems. You get new problems and you have new questions to ask your mentor. And that's quite beautiful, because the growth isn't in your bank account only. The growth is in a soul level. The growth is what you can handle energetically. The growth is in your capacity to receive questions that you haven't answered before, to receive a new level of client, maybe a client that is more of a leader than you're used to, to be able to receive someone who maybe is resistant to something that like platitudes, and you actually have to grow and challenge your own teaching and coaching style and go deeper and grow. You are naturally evolving or you are regressing. And we're not trying, like, you can downsize. I naturally downsized my house. I was living in like this gorgeous like mansion with a pool, and like, it's not all about grow at all costs. Sometimes we need to realign. And so in my realignment, there was nothing that my assistant did wrong. And so it was tough to let her go. But when I finally had that conversation with her, she didn't say, "You're responsible for my livelihood. You can't do this to me." She told me that I contributed over these 5 years to her going to law school. And it was perfect timing because she just graduated. And I knew this, but in my company, it's not deep shares all the time. It's more of like, yes, like, let's get to work. And it's very beautiful. I knew she was going to law school, but I didn't know the exact date she was graduating. And it was actually perfect timing. And now she was like, yeah, I'm moving on to law school, or graduating from law school, and gonna do this now. And wow. And sometimes we are also giving that human a little push, like like we're contributing to that person's growth as she's contributed to our growth. And so you're not responsible for people's livelihood. And here's another thing, that when you're taking on more responsibility than is yours, I want to ask you this. Are you also taking on the responsibility of your clients to get their own transformations? Okay, here is the key. So it is not your responsibility to get your clients results. And this might be living in your subconscious. And this might be preventing you from boldly going out and selling your offers, from talking about your offers in ways that could attract you clients, because there's something living in your auric field that says you are responsible for their results, for their success. You are simply responsible for what it is that you said you are responsible for. Here's the promise of your offer, and they are not going to get that result from you handing it to them. They have to meet you in responsibility to do the work, right? To do their part, to clean up their side of the street. And if you're coaching and helping them with subconscious reprogramming like I do, then they need to bring that. And when clients are not bringing that, like I encourage, I remind every week, I am here for this. Ask your questions. Office hours are open. And some people are more forthright, and some people maybe need a more private container. And if I can spot that, I have brought someone into a private container because I could spot that they were not sharing their challenges in the group. And I was like, hey, like you can be at the back of the class for as long as you want, or you can really come and get great mentorship and coaching. And so she did. And so this is not about selling at all costs. It's about seeing what your people need, but not taking on responsibility. I can't go into somebody's house and even if and sometimes I do. So I love messaging. I love helping people to create the names and the subtitles of their offers, the value statements, like helping them to express the truest value of their offerings is totally my jam. And I cannot like go into their house and write it, have them speak it. Like sometimes I do rewrite their promises and give them some options and say, hey, like it makes sense like this, but you're kind of using some fluffy words. And could this be better? Does this resonate? I mean, if it doesn't resonate with things that they would say, then it's not going to work. But that's why we work personally. Like, hey, how about this? How does this sound? When you say this out loud, how does this sound? And a one or two word shift can change the way you feel about speaking your promise out loud. And if you had ChatGPT create the name, subtitle, and promise, it's not coming from your soul. It's not coming from you, what you desire to say. It's not coming from your channel. And so I prefer to help people to open their channel so their creativity is flowing forth from them. But I will help them line by line in my upcoming 8-week live program. It is about bringing the soul back into social media. And I am helping each and every one of you to open your channel and be able to speak and write words that sound naturally. And I check your work, your homework, line by line. Boop, boop, boop. And like, if you're not sure if the name of your new masterclass or the way that you're expressing your the value of your work, if you're not sure if it's going to work, hand it in. I love checking your content before it goes out so you can adjust and make changes, because I'm going to be able to see in the energy from which you write what is going on. And we may leave it exactly as it is. And oftentimes my clients just need like, yes, the stamp of approval that it's not speaking to disempowered people. It's not speaking to freebie seekers. It's speaking to empowered, resonant, and ready to invest clients, customers, and students. So that work is done. And if they don't come to the calls, if you don't show up for your lives, if you don't go out and express, there might be something deeper going on. And it's you going to a meme on somebody's freaking feed and seeing you're playing small. Is that working for you anymore? Is that working for you anymore? And I know you've been in the rooms. I know during lockdown, you took all the courses, you hired some mentors that didn't work out for you. And that's okay. It's okay to say, okay, maybe I got burned, or it's okay to say that investment led me to the next investment. It led you to here right now, hearing my words, resonating with the way that I show up for my people. And you want to get yourself inside of a different room. Listen, it doesn't matter how many times you've invested in yourself. If you're resonating and you are digging what's going down, show up for the free class. It doesn't hurt, show up for the free class, but don't become a freebie seeker, bouncing around from one free class to another free class, thinking that that is what's going to get you a transformation, because that is who you're going to call in. Sales is a mirror. Sales is a mirror. And of course, you can justify that you've invested in yourself, and that's not what I said to myself when I had already hired a $20,000 mentor. I've never really made a bad investment because of the way that I think. I've made small investments that weren't as powerful as when I went all in on myself and hired a mentor for a year at $20,000, and then did it again with another mentor at like $80,000 over 2 years. You do not have to invest in yourself at that level, but I'm just like, notice the difference of why I am still here, covered in cat pee, like devotional AF, able to let go of anything that's happened to me before a session and come correct for my clients. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm going through heartbreak. It doesn't matter if I'm moving or in transition. This is my work in the world. Holding space for my clients is what I do best. And this is why I will continue. I can downsize, I can upsize, I can have a mentorship, I can have a course, and it will sell because I'm devoted to my clients' results. And this is one of the 4 success codes of the devotional human that I offer in my success code series, which comes as a part of my school. So when you join my school, you get personal coaching, you get whatever live experience we're going through. So the live experiences are all based on the Enneagram. They're all 8-week potent step-by-step programs that if you do every step, you don't have to do it on time with us, but if you wanted to have a result in 8 weeks, then you could go step-by-step in time with us. But just know that once you start the magical process, you must complete it. There are consequences out of both of our control. So if you're choosing to join me, you are choosing to devote yourself to your own creative aim. And I will get you there step by step, and I will be there to support you when the inevitable happens and a limit comes in and a challenge comes in. And these are not just limiting beliefs. They are often physical obstacles that you do not have to lift on your own and move out on your own. If a rock came on your path and you were hiking a path and a rock came down and it was too big to lift, would you quit? Would you turn around? Or would you ask for support? If I was there next to you saying, yeah, the first part of the hike is free. And, like, we all get to be valued for our gifts, presence, coaching, and talents, just like you want to be. And so now is the time to reinvest in yourself. It's your first time joining something, like, get inside the room, decide, because you cannot ask people to do what you are not willing to do. So if you're getting to the point of your business where sales is hard, it's simply because sales is a mirror and there's something in you that you're not looking at in the mirror. So you can look in the mirror and say, like, hey, what's going on here? And you can try all the self-coaching in the world and you may get what it is that you're looking for, or you can get inside the room and uncover things that you didn't even know were blocking you. Okay, rhythm, ritual, and resonance is all about bringing the soul back into social media. And if you do not want to use social media as your main event, as your main thing, listen, YouTube is not social media. That's where I predominantly stay and desire to grow on next. And networking events are not social media. One of my clients has a 6-figure business as a photographer, and she goes to networking events, but the message, the rhythm of her business, the cadence, where she's showing up and when, the rituals that are internal rituals, but also we call business tasks in my school rituals, because who wants to check off business tasks? Not me. But this live video, this session, this free session is a ritual. I have been going live, showing up for my clients, my audience, for 5, 6 years, maybe 6 years now, ritualistically, devotionally, before I had everything figured out, before I had my school, before I had my mentorships outlined and dialed in. I have been going live, showing up, delivering a powerful long form piece of content for 6 years. Do you know what that does for me? It's like, if I miss this, then I feel a little bit out of whack. Just like if you were to miss your personal ritual. So if your ritual, in the ashram that I lived in, ritualistically, we woke up every day and we ommed, we meditated, but I was personally responsible for lighting the incense uh, to Ganesh. Oh, Ganesh, the god of obstacles. So many, I mean, I could have a lot of Ganesha energy because he's a little cheeky, he's a little chubby, he likes a snack. And there's something with the moon. He like shot an arrow into the moon and all the candy fell, and he was like, gobble, gobble, gobble. Elephant headed god. Like, the story is that Shiva is Ganesha's father with Parvati, and Shiva went on his god mission, and Parvati wanted a child, and so Parvati baked a child out of clay, and prayed over this child, and the child grew, and the child grew fast. So when Shiva came back from his Shiva god mission, he comes and sees a full-grown man in Parvati's home, in their home. And so he chops his head off. And oh my goodness, a god, a head chopping god. And Parvati's like, what in the world? This is our son. I demand you to go find him a head. Make him alive. Come on. And so Shiva goes and finds an elephant and puts the elephant's head onto their son's head. And this is how Ganesha was born. Ganesha is known as the god of obstacles. He puts obstacles in your place and he removes obstacles. Hey, multidimensional. There are 3 places on your creative aim that there will be obstacles that you will need to face. This is the heroine's journey, the hero's journey. And this makes you stronger. This makes you, it equips you for the job. So if your job is to be a remarkable coach, to be a mentor, to be a guide, you cannot be a remarkable coach if you had a perfect life and nothing has ever challenged you, because you will have no stories to tell. And it's not the path of a multidimensional creature. Like, it's not even the path of the gods. The gods have stories of challenge and triumph also for a reason. So in 3 places, make a triangle with your hands. In those 3 places, it's going to get challenging. So you don't have to do it alone, because if you've ever quit before, just know it's not your fault. You just didn't know this process. And so we go through this process together in Rhythm, Ritual, and Resonance. I teach you everything that you need to know, but I also equip you with your own personal rituals, so that if you are waking up every day doing your rituals, okay, amazing. You don't have to have the perfect morning practice. I do not have a 4-hour morning practice. Today, my ritual was cleaning frickin' cat pee. But I do. Every morning, my ritual is cleaning my home, organizing my home, setting my space, looking at my altar, setting the altar, and then showing up for my business. Every single day, not true, but I work Mondays through Thursdays. And Fridays, I'll write if I want to. I will write on the weekends if I want to. I'm not like, oh, don't work. You can't be working. This is my creative expression. It is not hard work to write with my feet up in the hammock. And if you're thinking like that, then come get your mindset checked in the first class of Rhythm, Ritual, and Resonance. or I'm going to teach you unconventional ways to double your revenue, because it really is about changing your perspective around what in the fractal we are doing here. And if it is like pulling teeth, then it's not sustainable. If your business is like uh, pulling teeth, it's not sustainable. And so we need to find you a sustainable rituals, and it may just be a one shift in perspective, and we can get you flowing again, and we can get you creating again, and we can get you all of that. So I light an incense still every morning. I don't om every day. I don't meditate every day, but I do still light an incense every day and think of Ganesha. And I love that for us. Your ritual doesn't have to be long and cumbersome. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be something that gets you into the mood to remember that this is more than a means to make money. I just was so alliterative in that, like, alliteration is my jam. I'm a poet at heart, but like it is more than you becoming a millionaire marketer and, never working again, like just trying to get to the fastest route to not have to work anymore. Come on, this is not what we're doing here. Your work gets to light you up, and if it doesn't, it is okay to say, yeah, I'm gonna go get a job. And maybe that lights a fire under your butt when you're like, well, this is definitely not my mission. Waiting tables was not my mission. I had a master's degree in clinical psychology, and I went back to waiting tables for an honorable reason. I wanted to invest bigger in myself, and I didn't want to be a therapist anymore. And so I waited tables, and I took that money and I invested in a mentor, and thank goodness. And it was an honorable choice, but waiting tables was not my mission. It was a means to an end. But if coaching is just a means to an end because you think it's going to make you $1,000,000, we're doing it for the wrong reason. And it doesn't. Yeah, like cool. There are some anomalies out there. I've made $500,000 in revenue over 5 years. But if you are just trying to hire the millionaire coach who says she's a millionaire, like, I mean, what's that about? Yeah, I want to be a millionaire. Yeah, I want to have more money. And this is like the hardest thing I've ever done, checking yourself again and again and again, seeing what's lurking in the subconscious. It's a soul's path. It's an evolutionary path. It's a path of enlightenment. You will become enlightened. And you get enlightened chopping wood, carrying water, cleaning the cat pee, defleeing the cat, fixing my, de-itching my cat bites, recognizing where am I leaking my power. Chop wood, carry water. This isn't a path to getting a servant. It's like, no, it is an honorable profession that requires effort, but it doesn't require you to over effort with thoughts that are dragging you down and making it harder than it has to be. And it is totally okay to say, dang, like I didn't know this was a path. I didn't know that entrepreneurship was a path to enlightenment. And so, thank you very much. I am exiting. I teach people how to exit the cult of average, but the cult of average is a beautiful place to be. This foundational place, the cult of average, you don't have to be ascending all the time. You can literally, like, I love the people who come and the garbage men. Like, where would we be without the garbage men? There is no judgment here. It's just that garbage men, I've never heard a garbage man saying, actually, well, I mean, maybe there's a couple out there, but I've yet to heard a garbage man say, actually, my real mission is coaching. And it's like, we need people to build the roads. We need architects. We need all these other people, but we need you if you are really designed to be a coach, a mentor, a healer, a guide, a facilitator of transformation, we need you turned on in your pleasure towards what you get to do. You are not obligated to do this. Nobody has a bow and arrow to you saying you have to become a coach. And nobody said, and people have said that you can become rich from this and you can make a really great living. But if you're doing it just to become rich, then we're just not aligned. Go find that millionaire coach that is teaching you how to sell a product that you made with ChatGPT, farted out with ChatGPT, and you never even had that problem. I hate that. I hate faceless accounts. Like, show your face. And the fact that people still trust these people, I don't know. It's just not are part of the internet. And so, with that, I don't hate much and I barely hate this, but like what I do love is helping people who are here to make a really big impact, who are here to let their voice ring true, who are here to open their channel and let it speak uh, to folks that are soulmate clients, that are designed to work with you, that are like, can't believe you exist, that can't. My client just posted a picture of her nudie in the forest with like mud on her face and like I'm like, she will attract her clients from that, like be your full self, let your full self shine. And I'm so proud of you for making it this far. And I'll see you inside the first free class of rhythm, ritual, and resonance. And message me if you have any questions on what it would look like to continue on in the full live 8-week program. See you so soon. Bye bye.